Welcome back to English class, the at-home edition. The last time we were talking about films, movies, and the categories or genres of movies and films, such as action, comedy, romance. However, some of the slides were not in sync with the audio. There was some problem with the quiz part where the slides did not match the audio. So the slide did not match what I was saying. That was just a technical difficulty. This time, I've made slides and provided examples and the type of movie that it is, the genre or category. So we won't have to align the slides so they will definitely match what I'm saying. It could be a quiz, but the answers are already provided. Let's get started. Categories of films. So these are the genres or the types of films. And we will go through a few of them together. Here we see categories of films: action films, comedy, animated film, documentary, horror, thriller, science fiction, kung fu martial arts, romance, musical, war film, adventure, and animal film. So here are two examples of war films: Pearl Harbor and Behind Enemy Lines. These are both dealing with war. Science fiction. All of the Star Wars movies take place in space, and this is science fiction. Back to the Future is traveling in time, so it is also not real and called science fiction. These movies are romance. The Titanic and Pretty Woman. Scream and The Sixth Sense. Scream is more of a horror film, and The Sixth Sense is more of a thriller. Both good movies. Indiana Jones. There are 4 movies with Indiana Jones, and they are called adventure films. The first and third one are probably the best. You can see them on Netflix. The Sound of Music and My Fair Lady are musicals. One of the most famous films is The Sound of Music. Cinderella and Sailor Moon, these are animated films. Nowadays, we see a lot of computer animation, like Pixar movies such as Toy Story, Frozen. Those are all made on computer. Babe and Animal Farm are animal films. Earthquake and The Human Body, these are documentary films. You see a lot of animals in documentaries and true stories. Mr. Bean and Bend It Like Beckham, these are both comedies, as Mr. Bean is usually very funny. He falls into the category of comedy. Action films, Face Off and Rocky. These ones are titled as Mystery, The X-Files, and Harry Potter. They could also be called fantasy. And Fist of Fury. This is a martial arts film, or this one specifically is Kung Fu. So most movies fall into one of these categories. Things like superhero movies could fall into science fiction, or they could fall into action films. So some can cross over and be in two different categories. So think about your favorite movies. What type of movie do you like? What category is your favorite film in? Also think of some that you don't like. For example, I don't really like horror films. I don't really like musical films either. Well, that's the end of our lesson. and I'll see you soon.